President Bola Tinubu. Photo. State House President Bola Tinubu has unveiled a 10-year, $250 million intervention program aimed at restoring livelihoods and empowering Nigerians displaced by floods and other climate-related disasters. The initiative, known as the Climate Resilient Livelihoods Empowerment Program for Displaced Populations, was announced by the President in his opening address at a special event on climate-induced mobility held under Nigeria's chairmanship of the Rabat Process. The event brought together global leaders and development partners to examine the links between climate change, migration, security and development. A statement on Wednesday by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Yomi Odunuga, said the President, who was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, explained that the program would focus on long-term empowerment rather than emergency relief. According to the statement, the CLEP-4 DPS will support displaced persons through climate-smart agriculture, renewable energy entrepreneurship, climate data and digital employment, green value chains, as well as dedicated leadership tracks for women and youth. He said the program reflects a shift by the federal government from short-term humanitarian responses to people-centered solutions that strengthen resilience and preserve human dignity. The program is built on the premise that economic empowerment is a critical form of climate adaptation. The statement quoted the President as saying, Tinubu added that the initiative complements other interventions under the Renewed Hope agenda, including the Global Flood Disaster Management Project, which focuses on early warning systems, resilient infrastructure, disaster coordination and community engagement nationwide. He noted that the federal government has continued to support displaced families through targeted relief, resettlement and recovery efforts, including the Resettlement City Project, which provides planned communities with access to basic services and livelihood support under the supervision of relevant humanitarian and emergency agencies. The President described climate change as one of the most significant drivers of human mobility globally, stressing that for Nigeria, climate-induced displacement is a lived reality rather than a distant threat. He cited the 2022 floods, which affected more than 4.4 million people and displaced about 2.4 million Nigerians across over 30 states, as well as recurring flooding that continues to strain host communities and infrastructure. Tinubu also highlighted environmental degradation in the Lake Chad Basin, coastal erosion along Nigeria's shoreline and desertification in other regions, noting that these factors have undermined livelihoods and forced communities to migrate in search of survival. Calling for stronger international cooperation, the President said climate-induced mobility is a transnational challenge that no country can address alone, reaffirming Nigeria's commitment to inclusive partnerships, evidence-based policymaking and sustained dialogue within the Rabat Process. He expressed appreciation to Switzerland, the European Union, the International Center for Migration Policy Development and other partners for their support, expressing hope that the engagement would lead to concrete collaboration linking climate action, migration governance and sustainable development. Nigeria has in recent years faced worsening climate-related disasters, including flooding, desertification and coastal erosion, displacing millions of citizens and disrupting livelihoods across several states.